a brilliant young coder, a world-leading AI company, and a suspicious death that's sending shockwaves through Silicon Valley. Suchir Balaji wasn't just any employee at OpenAI. He was a key figure in the development of ChatGPT. He knew the company's secrets, and his whistleblowing claims about copyright violations threatened to unravel OpenAI's legal defense in billion-dollar lawsuits. But before he could testify, he was found dead in his San Francisco apartment. The police called it suicide. His family and even Elon Musk believe otherwise. In today's video, we'll dive deep into what Balaji knew, the timeline of events leading to his death, and the growing calls for an FBI investigation. Is this a case of big tech silencing dissent? Let's find out. OpenAI is synonymous with innovation in artificial intelligence. Their creation, ChatGPT, revolutionized how people interact with machines, and the company is now on a quest to achieve superintelligence. But behind this shiny facade lies a darker story, one involving secrets, whistleblowing, and a tragic, suspicious death. The story centers on Suchir Balaji, a prodigy whose career took him to the heart of OpenAI's most ambitious projects. He wasn't just any employee. He was someone with insider knowledge about how ChatGPT was built. His claims about the company's data practices could have serious legal repercussions, but before he could testify in a major lawsuit, he was found dead in his San Francisco apartment. The official ruling was suicide. His family, however, believes it was something more sinister.
When we went to the apartment, we found that the bedroom was ransacked. And we also found there was a sign of fight in the bathroom. And when we fed the picture to ChatGPT, we figured out that the splatter of blood is not like what it's supposed to be as per the cause of death. And we also found separate spots of blood in the bathroom, indicating he may have been hit separately, other than the cause of death. And more than anything else, there was no suicide note left. In the times where they make a determination it's suicide, they take so many factors into account. The major factor is, was the person depressed? They didn't even ask us.
And they're not alone. Elon Musk, one of OpenAI's co-founders and a vocal critic of the company, has called for the FBI to investigate. Was Balaji silenced to protect OpenAI's secrets, or is this a tragic coincidence? Today, we're breaking down the timeline, the evidence, and why this case is making headlines around the world. Suchir Balaji was a tech prodigy from an early age. Born to tech-savvy parents in California, his journey into the tech world began when he built his first computer at just 13. By 17, he was recruited by Quora to work on algorithms. His talent and drive led him to UC Berkeley, where he earned accolades for his groundbreaking contributions to machine learning. In 2018, Balaji joined OpenAI as an intern. Back then, the company was a nonprofit with a mission to ensure AI benefits humanity. For 4 years, he worked on some of OpenAI's most ambitious projects, including ChatGPT. But things started to change in 2022 when OpenAI launched ChatGPT to massive commercial success. The company shifted its focus from nonprofit ideals to profit-driven goals. Balaji's ideals clashed with this new direction, particularly when it came to how OpenAI was sourcing data for training its AI models. He discovered that much of the data used to train ChatGPT wasn't just from publicly accessible sources, it included copyrighted material. This revelation raised serious ethical and legal concerns. Using copyrighted data without permission could expose OpenAI to massive lawsuits. Balaji grew increasingly uneasy. By 2024, he decided he could no longer stay silent. He left OpenAI, disillusioned with what he saw as a betrayal of the company's founding principles. But leaving wasn't enough. In August 2024, he gave a bombshell interview to the New York Times, an interview that would change everything. His focus was on one critical issue: OpenAI's use of copyrighted data. In one of his final posts, Balaji wrote, "Fair use seems like a pretty implausible defense for a lot of generative AI products. They can create substitutes that compete with the data they've trained on." His claims struck at the core of OpenAI's legal defense. If courts agreed with his assessment, OpenAI could face billions in damages from copyright holders. But Balaji wasn't just making vague accusations. He had insider knowledge of OpenAI's data practices, information that could have been critical in court. According to reports, Balaji was set to testify in lawsuits against the company. Then, just days before his scheduled court appearance, tragedy struck. Balaji was found dead in his apartment. The timing couldn't be more suspicious. His death sent shockwaves through the tech community. Was it a tragic coincidence? Or had Balaji been silenced to protect OpenAI's secrets? Balaji's family certainly didn't believe the suicide narrative, and neither did Elon Musk. On November 21st, 2024, Balaji celebrated his 26th birthday. He spoke with his family about his plans to visit them and attend CES in January. There were no signs of distress or depression, but a few days later, he stopped responding to messages. Concerned, his mother, Pima Ra, contacted the San Francisco police. They entered his apartment and found his lifeless body. The police ruled his death a suicide, but the details don't add up. Balaji's family commissioned a private autopsy and uncovered several disturbing findings. His apartment was ransacked. Bloodstains were found in the bathroom, suggesting a violent struggle. No suicide note was left. His mother took to X, writing, "It's a cold-blooded murder declared by authorities a suicide. We demand FBI investigation." But it wasn't just his family raising questions. Elon Musk, a former co-founder of OpenAI, also expressed doubts about the suicide ruling. Who has been critical of OpenAI's leadership, called for a federal investigation. Musk's involvement has brought national attention to Balaji's death. He has the influence to push for an FBI probe, and he's using it. The question now is simple. Was Balaji silenced? And if so, by whom? The death of Suchir Balaji raises an unsettling reality. Whistleblowing in the tech industry can be incredibly dangerous. Speaking out against powerful corporations doesn't just risk your career, it can threaten your life. We've seen similar cases before. Frances Haugen exposed Facebook's internal practices, leading to worldwide scrutiny. Timnit Gebru was ousted from Google after raising ethical concerns about AI. But the stakes are even higher when it comes to AI whistleblowers. These insiders possess critical information that could jeopardize billion-dollar companies. Suchir Balaji's revelations about OpenAI's use of copyrighted data posed a significant threat. If courts ruled in favor of his claims, OpenAI could face billions in damages, a financial disaster for the company. According to David Sirota, journalist and founder of The Lever, whistleblowers are often seen as threats to the bottom line. Without robust protections, they're left vulnerable to retaliation, and in some cases, silenced. But it's not just legal experts raising concerns. Elon Musk, one of OpenAI's original co-founders, and now a vocal critic, has publicly questioned the official narrative around Balaji's death. Responding to a post on X, formerly Twitter, about Balaji's parents calling for an FBI investigation, Musk wrote, "This doesn't add up. We need answers. An FBI investigation is absolutely necessary." Musk's involvement has amplified the case on a national level, putting more pressure on authorities to take a second look at Balaji's death. His influence could push this case into federal hands, forcing transparency and accountability. But the question remains, was Balaji's death a tragic coincidence, or was he silenced to protect OpenAI's secrets? Balaji's case highlights a growing fear in the tech industry that those who speak out may face severe consequences. As AI reshapes the world at breakneck speed, the call for transparency and protection for whistleblowers has never been more urgent. The stakes are enormous, and the fight for justice is far from over. Suchir Balaji's death remains shrouded in mystery, and the questions surrounding his case aren't going away. His claims about OpenAI's data practices put him in a dangerous position, and his death, just before a critical court appearance, has sparked widespread suspicion. With Elon Musk joining the call for an FBI investigation, this case is far from closed. But it raises a much larger issue. Are whistleblowers in big tech being silenced for exposing uncomfortable truths? The tech industry thrives on innovation, but it also relies on accountability. As AI continues to reshape the world, the need for transparency has never been more urgent. The question we're left with is simple. Who benefits from Balaji's silence? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Balaji's death was a tragic coincidence, or is there more to the story? And if you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the darker side of tech.